Hey everyone, this is Philip with Applied Vitality and welcome to Applied Vitality TV. And our first exercise we have today is the wood chop. Now the wood chop is a very good functional movement. It's great for athletes and non-athletes, but for the athletes especially because it recruits a lot of the major muscles, especially the core, that the athletes will use in their respective sports. Now with the wood chop, you are shifting your weight from that leg closest to the machine to the leg that's opposite the machine in a lunging fashion, and you're pulling that cable downward and across your body. And you're doing so with the external oblique on the side closest to the machine, and you are activating your TVA or transverse abdominis the entire time. Now you're holding the handle with the arm opposite the machine, and when you pull with that arm, you want to try and keep that arm as straight as possible. And when you do pull, you want to explode. So when you pull that cable down, you're exploding, and then when you let the cable back up, you should do so with control, because what we're trying to accomplish is working the muscle eccentrically as well as concentrically. And for our next exercise, we have the cable push. Now the cable push is a very great exercise, and it can be done a couple of different ways. I like to do it with the athlete or whoever's performing the exercise with their feet straight or aligned, and you can have their feet staggered. You can have them in more of a squat position. You can have them in more of a lunge position. You can do this exercise a lot of different ways, but I prefer this way because it forces whoever's performing this exercise to rotate just a little bit more through their core and their midsection, okay? Now with this exercise, you want to keep that elbow with the hand that you're holding the handle. You want to keep that elbow aligned or even with the shoulder. And with that off hand or that off arm, you can see he's doing almost a Tai Chi type movement, and that's to counter all that rotation through the core. So what he's doing is he's exploding through, and a lot of the movement is coming through the core, and the whole time he's activating his TVA or his transverse abdominis. He's exploding, pushing, using his core, and as he lets the handle back, he's controlling it, because remember, we want to work both sides of the muscle. We want to work it eccentrically, or the lengthening of the muscle, and we also want to work it concentrically, or the shortening of the muscle. Now this is very important because as an athlete, or just working out in general, you want to make sure you work both sides of the muscle so that you don't have an imbalance anywhere. And with our next exercise, we have the cable pull. The cable pull is also a great exercise for athletes and non-athletes. It's a great core exercise. There's a lot of rotation through the core, and I keep the athlete or whoever's performing the exercise, I keep their feet even, and you can stagger them or do whatever you'd like with their feet, but I do it this way again for more rotation through the core and the midsection. Now the same thing goes with the hand that's holding the handle. You want to keep that elbow aligned or even with the shoulder, and with that off hand he's performing that Tai Chi movement again. Now you want to do something to counter all that rotation, and all the while you're activating your TVA, your transverse abdominis. And again, this is a power movement, so you want to be explosive, especially if you're an athlete. So when you pull that cable, you explode, and then again, when you let the cable back, you want to control it. We want to work both sides of the muscle. We don't want any muscle imbalances. Now, these two exercises, the cable pull and the cable push, can be done together. You can go, you can alternate sets, or you can do, for instance, 3 sets of the cable pull and then 3 sets of the cable push. It doesn't matter. These are great exercises, and they go very well together. And remember, everybody, these exercises are power movements. You want to make sure you get through the stability and the flexibility stage of your workouts before you perform these exercises. These are great exercises, but if you're not prepared, you could see injury or some other issues. So you want to make sure you're prepared for these power movements. And that goes for athletes too. They think they can hop right in and do these movements. You want to make sure you're prepared. So check out some of my other videos on flexibility and stability. And once you've mastered those, you can move on to these types of power movements. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully we'll see you again. And once again, this is Phil with Applied Vitality, and you have been watching Applied Vitality TV. Check out my website, appliedvitality.com, twitter.com/appliedvitality, and facebook.com/appliedvitality.